Hi, it's that fantasy chick. I'm back. Um, I don't know if you can hear my neighbors. They're being very loud today, so I'm not sure if you can hear them through the floor. Um, but I can hear them. Um, and it's kind of bugging me, but what can you do on with the show? Do. So today. So it's October, which means it's the start of the fall season. Normally, I'm very organized. I usually put together an Excel sheet with the shows that I want to watch and what channels that they're on and the date they premiere and the times and the days that they're gonna be on this season. And I haven't done that. I only know that SWAT starts this Friday. Other than that, I'm pretty sure the Equalizer starts sometime this week, and I still haven't finished watching season two. And I tried to sit down this weekend and binge watch the rest of season two, but I got to an episode where they were doing Tulsa. And I normally am, okay with Tulsa episodes, but I was kind of, I wasn't feeling it that day, especially because it was a stolen artwork episode and I had just spent the day putting up artwork in my place. And I just didn't feel like looking at an episode about stolen artwork after I spent the day putting up artwork in my own place. It just wasn't the vibe for me. So I was like, we're gonna have to skip through that. So I went and watched something else. So I'll probably get back to it. I'll probably forward to the end when they get the artwork back. See the happy ending. Um, Move on to the next episode. I really have to see. It might be on today, it might be on Wednesday. Somehow I feel like it's either October 3rd or October 5th or something where the equalizer comes back. I may be too late. I have 8 or 9 episodes to get through. And I had plenty of time to get through them and I waited till the last minute. Um my DC shows are dwindling. Um, Other than the Flash, I think it's the Flash and Superman and Lois. And I think that's it. They keep canceling, and I think this may be it for the Flash. That's coming back. But yeah, they just keep canceling them. So I'm kind of upset with them about that. I used to just have just a whole bunch of DC shows to watch because, if you haven't guessed by now, I am a DC girl. I love some DC. And I love watching my DC shows, but they're just one by one going away. I was upset when they canceled Black Lightning. It just broke my heart. But yeah, The Flash and Superman and Lois is all I've gotten left. Um, I saw something that makes me think they canceled Charmed, so I don't know if that's coming back. So, oh my gosh, sorry. Um, I really don't know how many of my shows are returning. Um, and I didn't check out any new shows, so I have no idea if there are any new shows that I want to watch. My new shows, it's like my new shows keep dwindling, and well, at least on the regular networks is just dwindling down, and I just watch more and more streaming shows. Um, as you can see, like today, we're going to be talking about She-Hulk and House of the Dragon, you know, streaming shows. And I plan on checking out Andor, so I'll probably binge watch that sometime this week. And maybe next week we'll talk about Andor. But yeah, I used to only have time to stream during the summer, but now I have so many days, so many empty days. I can pretty much stream throughout the regular season. But yeah, on to She-Hulk. So I watched this past episode. They had this cute little beginning where she was, going through these little dates with Josh, and it led up to her, giving it up, and then nothing. Just absolutely nothing. And it's like you're left throughout the whole episode was just about her wondering what's going on. Thought this guy liked me. And it wasn't even that he was there for the Hulk. He liked Jen. And she goes out to Emil Blonsky's little retreat or whatever he has going on. And she spends the day out there, and she spends some time in this group. And what's so funny is one of the people in the group ends up being one of the guys who attacked her a few episodes ago and tried to get her blood. And this whole time I'm thinking, I don't trust this dude. I'm thinking he's there to get her to lower her guard so he can get her to go from being She-Hulk to Jen so he can get her blood. But she lowers her guard. She goes to being Jen. She spends the day, and he does nothing. So I'm like, okay. So the threat doesn't come from him. But in the meanwhile, they end the whole episode, and then what they do is they do a flashback to, when she and Josh, have sex, and you find out that, oh no, it's Josh. He takes a picture of her sleeping in bed and he uploads it to the website, and you're like, Josh. The threat was him all along. And I think it was Black Nerd Comedy who called it Andre Meadows. He was like, when he first met him, he was like, he didn't trust him. And I was like, no, he's cute. I wanted him to be good all along because he liked Jen. And I wanted her to have someone who liked her. And, they had a little meet cute and everything, but no. She can't meet anybody. Oh, you like my Vader shirt? Wait till you see what it says. Don't. Oh, you can't see it. Don't mess with the dark side. That's the whole shirt. The whole shirt. We love a good Darth Vader over here. We're sad that James Earl Jones is retiring as Darth Vader. I'm like, if he's retiring as Darth Vader, then Darth Vader needs to retire, because It's just not going to be the same without him. Nobody can take his place. I just can't see it being as scary without his voice. I just can't see it being scary without his voice. And I can see he's getting up there in age, and he probably like, I can't be Vader for the rest of my life. But yes, you can, James. Yes, you can. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I really hope they really rethink the Star Wars universe and stop putting Darth Vader in there then. Because it's just not going to be the same without him. Oh, oh my goodness. The computer AI Vader voice. If it's anything like the computer AI faces, it's not, ugh, ugh. If they do the computer AI voice, they should still pay James Earl Jones for using his voice, because they're still using his voice. They're still using his likeness. So if they continue to use his voice, a computer generated version of his voice, he should still get paid, because that's shady and shisty if they do that. That's shady and shisty if they do that. Oh. But yeah, but yeah, no love for Jen. No love for Jen. So She-Hulk. Uh, and then I watched House of the Dragon. Um, they they what did they do? Oh, they had the funeral. Basically, it was pretty much just the funeral for. If you get royalties for later, yes, he should. If they continue to use his voice, he should get royalties for his voice, because that would not be right. That would not be right if they don't. Okay. So you think this House of the Dragon episode was the best one? I personally, you on your edge of the seat this whole episode. I had some issues with it. Um, I again was going back to comparing to Game of Thrones because I just can't help it. And there it had its moments. It was good. Um, you know, they had the tension at the funeral. That was good. Um, and then, but I think the moment that bothered me the most was when Aemon took that dragon, and I felt like when on Game of Thrones, when you have character moments like that, they're usually earned. And I felt like it wasn't earned here. And it's like a character moment like that, you usually you by the time you have a moment like that, you have a character. Either it's going to be somebody like an Arya or a Joffrey doing that, and either you're going to have the audience for them or against them. But when Aemon did it, I had no idea how I was supposed to feel about this boy. I did not know this boy. I did not have any vested interest in this boy. I didn't care for him either way. So his joyride on the dragon was unearned for me. So it felt empty to me. So I It just felt like something cool that they were like, oh yes, let's have this little boy. He was bullied. Let's give him a dragon. But being bullied is not enough is not a character trait. You gotta give him something more than just he was bullied. It, it um he touched the dragon 2 or 3 times, and this dragon was not just any dragon. This was the largest dragon in all of Westeros, Vagar. Ah, okay. Lights. This was the largest dragon in all of Westeros. This was the dragon that Lena, you know, who was a grown woman when she got this dragon. She had to go through some things in order to get this dragon. But this little boy came in and said a couple of words, touched it a couple of times, and then he was able to get it. It was unearned. It was unearned within the show. It was unearned within the emotion, just the audience emotions. I just felt like it was just. I felt like we should have spent more. If we, in order for us to get to that moment where we should have been with him on this dragon ride, we should have spent more time with him. And we should have spent more, they should have spent more time building his character so that by the time we got to that dragon ride, we should have been where they should have let us know how they wanted us to feel about this character. Are we with him or are we not? I was mad about that because that should have been the little girls too. I was happy that the cousins jumped him because, that's how cousins do. All 4 cousins jumped him, and them little black girls was punching him in the face. I'm like, go on, little black girls. You better punch him in the face for stealing that dragon. And I'm sorry, but after that beat down, they should have been able to get that dragon back. Especially after they cut him in the eye, they should have been able to get that dragon back. You can't just steal a dragon and all of a sudden that dragon's just gone. If he was able to get the dragon away from her, they should have been able to get the dragon away from him. He should have fallen off Vagar. It's one word to describe the show: messy. This show is messy. It's nothing but mess. They build this show on mess. It's just nothing but mess. From Larys and him being like, going up to the queen and say, hey, if you want a little boy's eye, I'm the man for you. Like, really? Really? You're gonna be proud to be the person to take a little boy's eye? That you want to be that person? Really? And it was just messy to the queen deciding she was gonna straight up attack a little boy in front of a room full of people, in front of his mother, in front of his grandparents, in front of her husband, the king, after he told her no, in front of all of the king's guard. Just I get it. Your little boy was his eyes gone and you upset, but no, that was messy. No. um I think a lot of people, well, I don't know if a lot of people are happy about the marriage, but I feel like if anything, a lot of people would be happy about Damon and Rhaenyra's marriage, because this is another moment that was earned. That this is a moment that was actually earned, because there was a lot of building between it. This was something that you actually saw building throughout the years, even though we're only on episode 7, but years has passed. You saw the relationship develop between Rhaenyra and Daemon, and you saw the attraction between them. You saw the relationship between them. You saw the connection between them. So, but by the time they got married, it wasn't even just about them being together as a husband and wife. It's about them as a strength, the strength of them as a couple, knowing that them together are stronger, and them together, they are going to, that the high towers cannot cannot stand against Rhaenyra and Daemon together. They just can't. So and the high towers are the villains in this story. They really are. She is Cersei. Allison is Cersei, and he is what's the old lion name? I can't think of his name. Oh, I can't even think of his name anymore. But anyway, he's the dad. They are the villains of the story, and Damon and Rhaenyra, even though they uncle and niece, this is them standing together, and you know that they're going to be stronger together. Oh, yes. Larys is annoying. He's annoying. But, I don't know. His main trait seems to be sneaky and messy. And he's not really 3-dimensional either. So it's like they have a lot of 2-dimensional characters on this show. Oh my goodness, yes. Same with him. I can't stand him. Yes. And yeah. This was a moment that was earned, of all the things that happened, and down to I feel this is where I finally feel sorry for the Valerians, because I really didn't feel much really didn't feel any way about Corlys and his wife, either way, Corlys and Rhaenys. Either way, like, I don't care about them. But then they lost their daughter and their son, like literally almost at the same time. But here's where there's hoping that they may see their son eventually again someday, because this was a part of Daemon's plan from the beginning, because he went to Laena's lover and gave him the plan and said, you need to do this in a place with witnesses. So they were always planning to not kill this man. I don't know whose dead body they decided to use instead, poor whomever. But they always planned on letting that poor person go. So, but the thing is, once Daemon and Rhaenyra are safely ensconced as king and queen, he can always come back. He can always come back, because once they're king and queen, they can just, they can always, make it right and just annul the marriage and make everything right. And he can always come back to his parents and be like, hey, I'm still alive. Um, I don't think so. I think the reason why they left him alive is because I think they left him alive because of because of his pledge to Rhaenyra. He sort of, pledged, like repledged his what am I trying to say? His loyalty to his wife, saying, I am willing to do whatever it takes to get you on that throne, to get you what you need. And this is what she needed. She needed Daemon. So they went to them and was like, okay, you did a good job, but now it's time for Daemon to take over. So he believed in his heart that he was just not up to the task. So he's not coming back until she's on that throne. He's not coming back until it's safe to come back. I don't think he's going to come back and mess things up. Now, it may come to a point where somebody may come and discover him in the free cities or wherever they're going to be. That may happen, but he's not going to come back. I don't believe he'll come back. I don't think he'll do that to her. Oh, he did strangle the dude right before the sword fight. I guess I got, you know what? I saw that and it didn't register. Thanks. It's a win. It's definitely a win-win. I think, you know what? Damon grew on me too. Damon grew on me too. The Stepstone War. The Stepstones War made me laugh my head off because he sat there and was losing for 3 years. 3 whole years he lost. As soon as he heard that his brother was coming to help him, he went out there and won the whole war. And it's just like, no, I am not. But it's just sheer stubbornness. He just decided I'm gonna win. And I just laughed. I just laughed. Like, hell no, he is not coming to save me. He is not coming to save me. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. But I've never seen somebody win a war through sheer stubbornness alone. He went out there. I mean, he got shot with a couple of arrows. He broke them arrows off and was like, we're going to keep going. Kept going. Oh my goodness. That was funny. But yeah. But yeah, I'm actually not looking forward to next week's episode. It's giving me anxiety. Probably once I watch it, it'll be okay. Because this, like I said, this episode, they build up like it's a big thing, and then you get to it. It's never as big as it's never as big as it seems. Yeah, they have Vagar, but truth be told, Rhaenyra and her family are still outnumber them in dragons. They have 3 dragons And Rhaenyra's family has 5. Yes, they have the largest dragon in all of Westeros, but they still have 5 dragons to their 3. So I don't know. Numbers count. Next week episode gonna be a dry one. It was too much on this episode. Uh, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But no, I think next episode is going to be. I think next episode is going to be tense because I think either the king becomes incapacitated or he dies. One or the other. I didn't look up the synopsis, but they make it. But the hand is sitting on the Iron Throne. So the only way the hand sits on the Iron Throne is he's ruling instead of the king. So either the king is incapacitated or the king is dead. So the king must be incapacitated, otherwise they would have put that little boy on the throne. Because they do another time jump, and the little boy is much older at this point. So this next week is going to be another time jump, and it's going to be the kids grown up this time. So that's going to be interesting. The Targaryens. The Targaryens don't lose everything until Game of Thrones, really. So they still hold on for another 300 years. Yeah, the queen's father is the hand right now. He came back and got that. He came back and got and became the hand after Larys burnt his father and his brother up. She wrote to her father. He came back and became the hand again. So he was in the so afterwards, when the show was over, they did what's going to happen next week, and they showed him sitting on the Iron Throne. Yes, it's Game of Thrones. Actually, Game of Thrones starts with Robert ruling, but right before when Robert has his rebellion, the King Viserys, he has no dragons, so they lose. I don't know how many years it took how many years had passed before they had lost their dragons, but it was I think they probably gonna have dragons at least because this is very early on in their reign. At this point, I think I read he's only the 3rd or 4th Targaryen king. This is very early in their reign. So they're going to have dragons for at least another 100, 200 years. And then they're going to run out of dragons. So this is extremely early on. Which is crazy that they have this much strife this early into their reign. But yeah. They well, depending on I don't know. I don't think they're gonna jump 100 years into the future. I have no idea where this series is going though. I don't know where this series is going. I all I know is I'm pretty sure it's going to go into a war for the throne, but beyond that, I don't know where it's going to go or how long they expect this to last. So I didn't read the book. This is based off of Fire and Blood, I think. I didn't read that book, so I have no idea how long this is supposed to last. Rating for this series 1 through 10. Um, it waffles. It waffles back and forth. Sometimes it's a 7. Sometimes it's a 7, depending on the episode. I give it a 7. I give it a 7. I feel like it has potential. It has potential to be better. Mainly because of the dragons. The dragons really is what elevates it to 7. It's the dragons. The dragons are carrying this show. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's a 6. Sometimes it's a 6. But yeah, 7, 7. Um, but yeah. So next week is another time jump. The high towers take over. I'm not looking forward to that. I really can't stand them. And Daemon and Rhaenyra has to come from Dragonstone back to King's Landing to take their shit back. So, they about to stir up some shit. So there might be some tussling. There might be some tussling involved. And I say if they go to King's Landing without their dragons, like you cannot go into a fight without it. They really need to bring all 5 dragons to King's Landing. You need to arrive on all 5 dragons. Really. Really. But okay, so that's all for today. Like I said, next week sometime this week I'm going to watch Andor. So next week I'm gonna binge watch Andor. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I think about that series and whether or not I like it. And because I don't even know where exactly it fits in the Star Wars timeline, but we'll see. I think they say the rebellion, so I think it must take place. It takes place around the original trilogy, maybe right before it, like right around, Rogue Squadron, whatever that movie is. So I'm gonna watch that. You like it? Okay, it's before Rogue One. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna watch it and see what I like about that. And that will be next. When that is, I don't know. You know what? Because of the prequels, we know that there's really only about 20 years between the fall of the Republic and the fall of the Empire. 18 to 20 years. So it can only happen within about 18 to 20 years. it's a short time period for all that to have happened. So so yeah. So next week, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Talking about that. And again, She-Hulk and House of the Dragon again. And um whatever other shows I am watching. Okay. Yes, don't give it away. I'll see. I'll see this week. I'll see this week. So thanks. And I will see you next Monday. Oh, also, this Friday, I'm doing another video. And this time I'm going to be doing another Smallville video. I'm going to be doing, um, I'm ranking the seasons from my least favorite to my, to my most favorite seasons of Smallville. So that's going to be this Friday.